Welcome, problem solving fans, to another problem of the day, and this one's all about making a whole one. We've got two sums involving fractions with different denominators, and both of the sums need to add up to one whole. So the first thing we need to do is look at the denominators, and we need to make them into common denominators. Well, in this first one, we're trying to find a mystery number of ninths, which is what's going to go in that box. So we really need to make this 1/3 into an equivalent fraction involving ninths. Well, to make the 3 into 9, we need to times by 3, make it 3 times bigger. 3 times 3 becomes 9. So if we're timesing the bottom number by 3, we need to times the top number by 3 as well. So 1 times 3 would become 3 ninths. So 1/3 has now become 3 ninths. Now, let's turn our attention to this whole one. Now we've got both fractions into ninths, we can forget about this original 1/3 and just focus more on the 3 ninths, because 1/3 and 3 ninths are equivalent. So 1 whole one, if we're dealing with ninths, would have to be 9 ninths. So if we've got 3 ninths already, to make it up to 9 ninths, we would need another 6 ninths. Because 3 ninths plus 6 ninths gives us 9 ninths, which is the 1 whole. If we do a similar sort of thing on the second question, we're trying to find a mystery number of 16ths. So we really need to make the other two fractions into 16ths. So to make quarters into 16ths, we need to multiply by 4. And therefore we need to do the same for the top, multiply by 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. So 1/4 is 4/16. To make this 8 into 16, we'd have to double it, or times by 2. So we'd have to do exactly the same for the top, double it, or times by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So that would be 2/16. So to recap, 1/4, we can forget about that now because we've turned it into an equivalent fraction of 4/16. 1/8, we can forget about that because we've turned it into an equivalent fraction of 2/16. But we've tried to make a whole one. Now a whole one, in the same way that 1 whole was 9 ninths, now we're dealing with 16ths. 1 whole one would be 16/16. So if we look back at the question, let's see what we've got so far. We have got 4/16 plus 2/16. Well, 4/16 and 2/16 make 6/16. But to get that up to 16/16, we would need another 10/16. So the missing number there would have to be 10, because 4 plus 2 plus 10 gives you the 16 that we're trying to make, and 16/16 makes a whole one.